Ladies and gentlemen, God's omniscience is a profound concept that signifies his complete and perfect knowledge of all things, including every detail of our lives. This understanding extends beyond merely knowing the events of the past, present, and future. It encompasses an intimate awareness of our thoughts, emotions, needs, and desires. Recognizing this aspect of God's nature provides a foundation for trusting in his guidance and wisdom as he sees the bigger picture that we cannot. God's knowledge of our lives is not limited to what we express outwardly. He understands the deepest longings of our hearts, even those we may not be fully aware of ourselves. This awareness means that God is attuned to our aspirations, fears, struggles, and dreams. He knows our strengths and weaknesses, our successes and failures, and he is intimately familiar with every experience that shapes us. Because of this, he can provide exactly what we need at the right time, even if it is not what we think we want. Trusting in God's omniscience requires faith in his intentions and his plans for us. Often, we find ourselves questioning the circumstances of our lives, wondering why certain things happen or why our prayers are not answered in the way we expect. However, from God's vantage point, he understands how every event and situation fits into a grander purpose. He knows what is necessary for our growth, healing, and development. When we accept that his knowledge surpasses our limited understanding, we can find peace in knowing that nothing in our lives is accidental or meaningless. God's omniscience also assures us that we are never alone or forgotten. In moments of loneliness, confusion, or pain, we may feel isolated or misunderstood. Yet God sees our struggles and cares deeply about them. He recognizes our silent tears and hears our unspoken prayers. His awareness is not detached or indifferent. It is infused with love and compassion. This means that he is constantly working behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances for our ultimate good, even when we cannot perceive it. A significant aspect of God's omniscience is his ability to anticipate our needs before we even realize them. Just as a loving parent prepares for their child's needs in advance, God prepares solutions to our problems long before we encounter them. This proactive care is a testament to his wisdom and provision. Therefore, when faced with uncertainty or lack, we can trust that God already has a plan in motion to provide for us. This understanding of God's perfect knowledge invites us to seek his guidance in all areas of life. When making decisions, whether small or significant, consulting God through prayer and reflection allows us to align our choices with his will. Since he knows the outcomes of every decision we might make, his guidance helps us avoid pitfalls and directs us toward the best path. This does not mean that life will be free of challenges, but it reassures us that God is leading us through every situation with purpose and intention. God's omniscience also challenges us to surrender control. As humans, we often want to plan and dictate every aspect of our lives. However, true peace comes from releasing this control to the one who knows everything. When we surrender our desires and ambitions to God, trusting in his perfect knowledge, we free ourselves from anxiety and fear of the unknown. This surrender is not an act of resignation, but an acknowledgement of God's superior wisdom and love. Recognizing God's omniscience cultivates humility and gratitude. It humbles us by reminding us of our limitations and dependence on his wisdom. At the same time, it fills us with gratitude because we realize that the creator of the universe is personally invested in our well-being. He does not merely observe our lives from a distance, but is actively involved in guiding and nurturing us. And this truth also encourages us to live authentically before God. Knowing that he is already aware of every thought and emotion frees us from the need to pretend or hide our struggles. We can approach him honestly, sharing our fears, doubts, and failures without fear of rejection. This openness fosters a deeper relationship with God, built on trust and vulnerability. Embracing the reality of God's omniscience transforms the way we perceive life. It provides assurance during uncertain times, comfort in moments of pain, and guidance in decision-making. It invites us to trust, surrender, and live authentically. By accepting that God knows what is best for us, we can navigate life's journey with confidence and peace, knowing that we are seen, loved, and guided by an all-knowing and caring God. Trusting in divine timing is an essential principle that teaches us to have faith in the timing of events orchestrated by a higher power. It is the belief that everything happens for a reason and at the perfect moment, even if it does not align with our personal schedules or expectations. This concept challenges our natural desire for control and immediate results, urging us to be patient and trust that the timing of our lives is being guided by a wisdom far greater than our own. In today's fast-paced world, waiting can be incredibly challenging. We are accustomed to instant gratification where answers, solutions, and results are often just a click away. However, spiritual growth requires patience and faith in the unseen. Trusting in divine timing means believing that delays are not denials. Instead, they are often periods of preparation where important lessons are learned, character is developed, and circumstances are aligned for the best possible outcome. Just as seeds take time to grow and flowers bloom at their appointed season, our lives unfold in phases that require patience and trust. One of the most challenging aspects of trusting divine timing is letting go of our own timelines. We often create rigid schedules for our lives, setting expectations for when we should achieve certain milestones, such as graduating, getting a job, getting married, or having children. When life does not follow this script, we may feel disappointed or disillusioned. However, divine timing operates beyond our human constraints. It is based on a perfect knowledge of the past, present, and future. What may seem like a delay to us is often a strategic pause meant to prepare us for something greater than we imagined. There are countless examples in history and personal experiences where delays prove to be blessings in disguise. Sometimes we are kept waiting because the circumstances needed to support our dreams are not yet in place. At other times, the wait is meant to strengthen our faith and patience. During these periods, it is crucial to remain hopeful and continue to trust the process, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This perspective helps transform frustration into anticipation and impatience into trust. Trusting in divine timing also teaches us to appreciate the present moment. When we are overly focused on the future or anxious about our timelines, we miss the beauty and opportunities of the present. Every season of life has its purpose. Times of waiting can be used for self-reflection, growth, and preparation. They provide an opportunity to develop resilience, faith, and gratitude. By embracing the present, we learn to find contentment regardless of circumstances, realizing that our worth and purpose are not solely tied to future achievements. Another important aspect of divine timing is the realization that delays often protect us from situations we are not yet ready to handle. Sometimes we pursue things that we believe will bring us happiness or fulfillment, only to later realize they were not meant for us. By trusting that there is a perfect time for everything, we acknowledge that a higher power sees the bigger picture and knows what we need and when we need it. This understanding prevents us from forcing situations prematurely and helps us avoid unnecessary heartache or failure. Patience is a vital virtue when learning to trust in divine timing. It requires us to wait without anxiety, frustration, or resentment. This type of patience is rooted in faith and confidence that the outcome will be worth the wait. It does not mean passive waiting, but rather active preparation. During the waiting period, we should continue to grow, learn, and improve ourselves. This proactive approach keeps us aligned with our purpose and prepares us for the opportunities that will come at the right time. Trusting in divine timing also helps us overcome comparison. It is easy to look at others and feel left behind, especially in a world that constantly showcases achievements and milestones on social media. However, when we understand that everyone's journey is unique and unfolds at its own pace, we can celebrate others' successes without feeling inadequate. We learn to appreciate our own path and trust that what is meant for us will come at the perfect moment. Faith is the cornerstone of trusting in divine timing. It is the unwavering belief that everything is happening for our highest good, even when it does not make sense. This faith is strengthened through prayer, meditation, and reflection. It involves surrendering our desires and expectations, knowing that a higher power is in control. This surrender is not about giving up, but rather about aligning our will with a greater purpose. It is about releasing the need to control every outcome and trusting that the universe is working in our favor. By trusting in divine timing as a journey of faith, patience, and surrender, it teaches us to let go of rigid expectations and embrace life's unfolding with confidence and grace. It encourages us to live fully in the present, to grow during waiting periods, and to trust that delays are often a sign of divine protection and preparation. By recognizing that there is a perfect time for everything, we learn to navigate life's uncertainties with peace and resilience. Ultimately, trusting in divine timing allows us to live with hope and anticipation, knowing that everything will fall into place beautifully at the appointed time. Seeking God's guidance is an essential practice for those who desire to live purposefully and in alignment with the divine plan. It involves actively seeking wisdom, direction, and clarity from a higher power, trusting that there is a plan greater than our understanding. This process requires humility, patience, and faith, recognizing that human knowledge is limited while divine wisdom is infinite. By seeking God's guidance, individuals open themselves to a source of wisdom that is not only all-knowing, but also deeply loving and invested in their well-being. One of the primary ways to seek God's guidance is through prayer. Prayer is not merely about asking for things, but about building a relationship with God. It is a two-way communication where one speaks honestly and listens attentively. When seeking direction, prayer should be earnest and humble, asking not only for specific outcomes, but also for wisdom and discernment to recognize the right path. Through prayer, individuals express their dependence on God's wisdom and their willingness to follow his lead, even when it contradicts personal desires or plans. Reading and reflecting on sacred scriptures is another powerful way to receive guidance. Religious texts are rich sources of wisdom, offering timeless principles that apply to modern life. These writings provide moral direction, encouragement, and examples of how others have sought and followed divine guidance. By studying these texts with an open heart, individuals gain insight into God's character and his desires for humanity. This understanding helps in making choices that align with divine will, ensuring that actions are guided by love, justice, humility, and compassion. Listening to the inner voice, often referred to as the Holy Spirit or conscience, is a subtle yet profound way of receiving guidance. This inner prompting provides a sense of peace or discomfort when making decisions. It nudges individuals toward the right actions and away from harmful choices. However, to clearly hear this inner voice, seeking wise counsel from trusted spiritual mentors, elders, or faith communities is also crucial. These individuals often have years of experience in spiritual maturity, enabling them to provide sound advice and perspective. While their counsel is not infallible, it is valuable for confirming or challenging one's thoughts and decisions. It is essential to approach such conversations with humility and openness, willing to listen and learn. Often, God uses other people to speak truth and provide direction, reinforcing the idea that divine guidance is not limited to mystical experiences, but also comes through everyday interactions and relationships. Trust and patience are fundamental when seeking God's guidance. Answers are not always immediate, and clarity may take time to emerge. During these waiting periods, it is important to continue seeking, praying, and remaining faithful. Trusting in God's timing requires letting go of impatience and the need for control. It involves believing that delays are purposeful, often meant to teach patience, build character, or allow circumstances to align perfectly. Faith grows stronger in these waiting periods as individuals learn to rely not on their own understanding, but on divine wisdom. Obedience and willingness to follow God's guidance are necessary to fully benefit from it. It is not enough to seek direction. One must also act upon it. Often divine guidance challenges comfort zones, requiring courage and sacrifice. It may mean letting go of familiar paths, ambitions, or relationships that no longer serve one's purpose. Obedience demonstrates trust and faith, acknowledging that God's ways are higher and wiser. This willingness to follow without complete understanding is a profound act of faith, leading to growth and fulfillment. One of the challenges in seeking God's guidance is discerning between divine direction and personal desires. It is easy to confuse wishful thinking with spiritual leading. To avoid this, individuals must check their motivations, ensuring that their desires are not selfish or harmful. They should also seek confirmation through multiple sources, such as scriptures, prayer, inner peace, and counsel from trusted mentors. Consistency among these sources often indicates divine guidance, whereas contradictions may suggest personal bias or confusion. Another challenge is overcoming fear and doubt. Following divine guidance sometimes leads to uncertain or difficult paths. Fear of the unknown, failure, or criticism can hinder obedience. It is important to remember that God's guidance often requires faith steps, moving forward even when the destination is unclear. Trusting that God is present in every step provides courage and confidence. Additionally, reflecting on past experiences of divine faithfulness strengthens faith, reminding individuals that God's guidance has always led to growth and blessings, even through challenges. Seeking God's guidance also involves gratitude and acknowledgement. When clarity is received and decisions lead to positive outcomes, it is important to express gratitude and give credit to divine wisdom. This gratitude reinforces faith, creating a cycle of trust and dependence on God's guidance. It also prevents pride, reminding individuals that success is not solely due to their abilities, but is the result of divine leading and grace. Seeking God's guidance is a journey of faith, trust, and obedience. It involves prayer, scripture reflection, inner listening, wise counsel, and patience. It challenges individuals to surrender their will, overcome fear, and act with courage and humility. By continuously seeking and following divine direction, individuals align their lives with a greater purpose, experiencing peace, fulfillment, and growth. This journey of seeking and trusting in God's wisdom ultimately leads to a life of meaning and impact, guided by love and purpose. God has a unique plan for each individual, a path specifically designed to fulfill their purpose and maximize their potential. This concept highlights the importance of embracing one's individuality and resisting the urge to compare or imitate others. Each person is created with distinct gifts, talents, experiences, and perspectives that are meant to contribute uniquely to the world. Recognizing this truth encourages individuals to seek their own path, trusting that God's plan for them is perfectly tailored to their needs, desires, and purpose. One of the challenges people face is the pressure to conform to societal expectations or follow the footsteps of others. In a world that constantly showcases success stories and achievements, it is easy to feel inadequate or left behind. Social media amplifies this pressure as it presents curated images of other people's lives, making it tempting to mimic their paths or choices. However, God's plan for each person is unique, and what works for one individual may not work for another. Just as every fingerprint is different, so is every journey. Imitating others not only leads to dissatisfaction, but also causes individuals to miss out on their unique calling. Embracing one's unique path requires self-awareness and acceptance. It involves understanding one's strengths, weaknesses, passions, and purpose, This self-awareness is cultivated through reflection, prayer, and seeking divine guidance. By connecting with God and asking for direction, individuals can gain clarity about their calling and the steps needed to fulfill it. This process requires patience and trust, as God's plan often unfolds gradually, revealing itself one step at a time. It is essential to remain open and flexible, allowing divine wisdom to guide the journey, rather than rigidly clinging to personal ambitions or societal standards. Another critical aspect of embracing a unique path is overcoming the fear of judgment or criticism. When individuals choose to follow a different direction than what is commonly accepted or expected, they may face skepticism or opposition. Friends, family, or society might question their choices, leading to doubt and discouragement. However, confidence in God's plan provides the courage to stand firm and continue forward. Knowing that the path is divinely inspired and purposefully designed helps individuals resist the pressure to conform. It empowers them to pursue their dreams with faith, resilience, and authenticity. Living out God's unique plan requires a willingness to take risks and step out of comfort zones. Often, divine guidance leads to unfamiliar or challenging territories that require growth, learning, and adaptation. These experiences are meant to build character, strengthen faith, and equip individuals for their purpose. By embracing these challenges with a positive mindset, individuals can transform obstacles into opportunities. Each step taken in faith not only brings them closer to their destiny, but also inspires others to seek and follow their unique paths. Celebrating one's individuality also means celebrating others' successes without jealousy or competition. When individuals understand that God has a specific plan for each person, they realize that someone else's achievements do not diminish their potential. This mindset fosters a spirit of collaboration and encouragement, allowing people to uplift and support each other. It creates a community where uniqueness is valued and diversity of talents and perspectives enriches the collective experience. This environment of mutual respect and celebration helps individuals thrive in their own calling without feeling threatened or envious. God's unique plan often includes seasons of waiting, learning, and preparation. During these times, individuals may feel stagnant or uncertain, but these periods are purposeful. They provide opportunities for growth, reflection, and skill development. By trusting the process and continuing to seek guidance, individuals can use these seasons productively, knowing that God's timing is perfect. Patience and perseverance are key during these phases, as they build the strength and character needed to fulfill one's destiny. Embracing God's unique plan requires faith, courage, and authenticity. It involves seeking divine guidance, celebrating individuality, and resisting societal pressures to conform. By walking this path with confidence and trust, individuals can fulfill their purpose, impacting the world in a way only they can. This journey of faith leads to a life of meaning, joy, and fulfillment, guided by divine wisdom and purpose. Even when we make mistakes, God can redirect our paths for good. This concept emphasizes the power of grace, redemption, and growth, assuring individuals that failure is not the end of the journey. God's guidance is not conditional on perfection, but is extended to those who earnestly seek His will, even in the midst of errors and missteps. This truth provides hope and encouragement, allowing individuals to step out in faith without the fear of making mistakes, knowing that God's love and wisdom are sufficient to correct and guide them. One of the most paralyzing fears people face is the fear of failure. This fear often stems from societal expectations of success and perfection, leading to anxiety and hesitation in making decisions. However, the belief that God can use even our mistakes for good liberates individuals from this fear. It encourages them to take bold steps in pursuing their dreams and purpose. By understanding that God's grace covers imperfections, they are empowered to act with courage, creativity, and resilience. God's ability to redirect paths demonstrates His sovereignty and wisdom. He sees the bigger picture and understands how every event, including mistakes, contributes to personal growth and purpose. Often what appears as failure is actually a lesson in disguise, meant to teach humility, patience, or perseverance. By trusting that God is in control, individuals can view setbacks as opportunities for learning rather than as reasons for discouragement or self-doubt. This perspective fosters a growth mindset where challenges are seen as stepping stones to success. God's redirection is an expression of his unconditional love and mercy. He does not abandon or condemn those who make mistakes, but lovingly guides them back to the right path. This assurance of forgiveness and grace encourages individuals to approach God with honesty and vulnerability. They can confess their shortcomings without fear of rejection, knowing that God's love is constant and unwavering. This authentic relationship deepens faith and trust, allowing individuals to grow spiritually and emotionally. Overcoming the fear of mistakes involves trusting in God's sovereignty, embracing grace, and maintaining a growth mindset. By recognizing that God can use every experience for good, individuals are empowered to pursue their purpose with courage and faith. This journey of resilience and redemption leads to a life of fulfillment and purpose, guided by divine love and wisdom. Surrendering control to God requires a deep level of faith, trust, and humility. It involves releasing the need to dictate every detail of life and allowing a higher power to guide the journey. This act of surrender is not about giving up, but about letting go of anxiety, fear, and the illusion of control. It acknowledges that while humans have free will and the ability to make choices, ultimate authority and wisdom belong to God. By surrendering control, individuals experience freedom, peace, and a deeper relationship with the divine. One of the greatest challenges people face is the desire to control outcomes. This need for control often stems from fear of the unknown or a lack of trust in the future. People want to feel secure and certain about their lives, leading them to meticulously plan every aspect. While planning is essential, excessive control leads to anxiety, frustration, and disappointment, especially when things do not go as expected. Surrendering control to God involves recognizing that not everything is within human power and that some things are beyond understanding. It requires trusting that God knows the bigger picture and has a plan that is ultimately for one's good. Surrendering control starts with acknowledging human limitations. No matter how intelligent, skilled, or resourceful a person is,